There's been nothing like this in American history where we went through an entire primary and they just decided, oh, it doesn't matter. First up, I want to talk about the convention and the Democratic Party convention. And we're not allowed to ask basic questions about how Kamala Harris became the nominee. There's nothing normal about it. The situation has no precedent, I would say, in American history. And I made a brief comment for social media on it the other day. I know we're not allowed to ask this question, but what about the coup? How did Harris become the nominee? 15 million votes have disappeared. Nothing like it has happened in American history. And I'm not going to stop asking questions about it, nor will Judicial Watch. And I kind of half-jokingly tweeted yesterday, because I don't think it was a joke since I actually didn't watch the Democratic convention, I was boycotting it. I boycott the convention because, to me, it was designed to ratify an illicit attack on democracy, as the left likes to say, an unprecedented attack on the voting rights of millions of Americans, 15 million votes. I got a question for you. If you go through an election and you vote, as 15 million or so did during the Democratic Party primaries for or against Joe Biden, and because Kamala Harris, and Obama and Nancy Pelosi decide that Biden shouldn't be the nominee, even after this primary process, and your votes are torn up, how are your voting rights protected in those circumstances? Do you have any voting rights to speak of if that's the process? Doesn't that raise legal, civil rights concerns, constitutional concerns? And the idea that we would just march along with no accountability, no investigation, no serious questioning of it, and have this process ratified and condoned through what I call this Coup convention, I'm not buying into it. And as I said in the clip, I'm going to keep on asking these questions, and to the degree we're able, Judicial Watch is going to keep on asking these questions. There's been nothing like this in American history where we went through an entire primary and they just decided, oh, it doesn't matter. The expense states went through to have these primary contests, the exercise of your core civil right to vote, that ought to mean something. And yes, I understand political parties have First Amendment freedom of association. That's another part of the First Amendment the left doesn't want you to remember or notice. Freedom of association, right? To select their party nominee. But here you have this intersection between that process and the right to vote. And the right to vote needs to be vindicated, it seems to me. And there should be concerns about it. I don't know if you saw Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s talk today. And obviously there are political ramifications because he's endorsed Trump and all that. And that's not what I'm talking about. What I thought was interesting about his speech was he laid out quite succinctly and powerfully what he calls the elements of what he called the palace coup against Biden. And there's been nothing like it in American history. And I tell you, what's to stop the Democratic Party from knocking Kamala off the ticket if things go south for her? Or Tim Walz? Up until Election Day. Now, there may be state laws that make it nearly impossible after a certain period of time. But it seems to me that if voting rights matter, then there's a significant scandal with what went on with Joe Biden. A significant scandal. And They can have as much fulsome coverage by the left media, but I want to know about how wonderful it is Kamala Harris is doing so well as a result of this PR push. But I want to know what she knew and when she knew it about this effort to remove Biden from the campaign. And was the whole primary a sham? If so, that raises other serious legal issues. And we're supposed to forget about Biden's 25th Amendment problem. And what is that problem? He's cognitively unfit. That's why they removed him from the campaign. And I want to know what she knew and when about this. And I think Republicans, if they were doing their job, frankly, honest people of both parties, they'd be having hearings, bringing in Obama, asking Nancy to testify, bring in Kamala Harris, have her testify. But that's not going to happen. Why? Because Republicans are on vacation. House Republicans, they are on vacation. They went out, I think, was it the middle of July? Maybe the third week in July. Anyway, it's 6 weeks of an August recess. So August has 4 weeks, right? And because it's the government, they managed to change an August recess into a recess that includes a week in September, or a week plus, and a full week in July. So 6 weeks, they're out. And so the Republican Congress, the Republican House of Representatives, is completely AWOL on these core issues. You may have seen this report issued by some of the committees investigating Biden for impeachment. And I'm not going to belabor it here. Maybe I should have gone over some of the details because it is worthwhile, but I've done it before. There's nothing new in the sense that it's material that they've been putting out before, but they've again summed it up. But they don't even call for his impeachment anymore. They're done. They're not going to impeach him. They're not going to impeach him for his corruption with Burisma. They're not going to impeach him for his corruption with Hunter. They're not going to impeach him for his corruption targeting Trump. They're not going to impeach him for his corruption related to the border. They're not going to impeach him for his corruption related to censorship, for his abuse of power, spending money he's not authorized to spend in the universe of tens and hundreds of billions of dollars. Zero impeachment. They don't even want to vote, and dare I say it, lose a vote. So Judicial Watch will do what it can. We've got some FOIAs out on these issues. Pick up the ball or keep on carrying it because we've never really let go of it because we never trusted Congress to do much of this anyway. We've been doing this for too long to know that Congress is an unreliable ally in these areas. When we push them to do their job, obviously, and always will, and help them when we can. Doesn't matter who's running. Well, the party. Which party is running it? So that's where things stand. We have really an attack on democracy, an attack on voting rights, an attack on the rule of law, our election system, never seen before in American history. And there's no joy in that, to use the campaign phrase. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.